Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kita yang ada di luar, boleh kita sama-sama memenuhi ruang-ruang yang masih banyak lagi kosong di belakang. Saya gunakan majlis ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera kepada tetamu-tetamu yang hadir pada hari ini, terutama barisan hormat kita Cik Rahim selaku Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Kumpulan Robotic, Mr. Jack Ong selaku pengarah eksekutif untuk Klenco Malaysia Sdn Bhd, Cik Abdullah selaku Ketua Pegawai Operasi untuk Gadis Yang Berhad, Mr. Yabit Singh selaku Ketua Eksekutif untuk Satuan Hotel-Hotel di Malaysia atau lebih dikenali dengan MAH, Malaysia National Hotel. Ini man behind ni, orang penting untuk hotel. Dan Tuan Haji Rozi daripada Ready Fam. Saya mewakili kumpulan Robotic dan juga Klenco mengucapkan selagi dengan rendah hati mengucapkan sekali lagi selamat datang kepada semua. Jadi saya mengambil masa sedikit untuk sama-sama kita membacakan dalam hati surah Al-Fatihah, dan bagi yang selain daripada Muslim untuk kita sama-sama berdoa untuk kita dijauhi dari segala malapetaka dan juga wabak penyakit COVID-19 yang masih lagi menyerang kita ni. Jadi kita mulai dengan Al-Fatihah. Alhamdulillah, terima kasih. Sekali lagi saya mengalu-alukan juga jemputan kedatangan daripada wakil-wakil syarikat yang lain, terutama juga untuk dua wakil daripada Majlis Amanah Rakyat bahagian sektor keusahawanan dan juga wakil-wakil anak-anak syarikat yang lain. Jadi tanpa membuang masa, saya meneruskan acara. Saya menjemput Cik Rahim untuk memberikan kata-kata aluan ataupun kita pembukaan untuk kita semua. Silakan Cik Rahim.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to everybody. Thank you very much for making the time to come for this event. I'll make this very brief and informal because this is very much Klenco's show, so I will be handing over to Mr. Jack Ong very soon to for him to showcase his products. It's good to see so many familiar faces here, so I think we will not go through the slides on ReadyMax from your background, but essentially ReadyMax Group and our greater group of companies are involved in integrated facilities management, especially hospitals. We have the concession for hospital support services that covers the central region, and this has been going on since 1997. So we have been in this business for almost a quarter of a century. So we have learned a lot over this many years about facilities management, especially for hospitals. And one thing the COVID pandemic has taught us is that it's actually given us a double whammy in a way. One is during the pandemic, the load went up in all aspects in terms of BOR, bed occupancy rate, throughput, linen load, physical waste load. Yeah? So we felt the burden as frontliners. But at the same time, we also face a shortage of resources. There were some of our staff, contracting staff, refused to come to work. It's understood, human nature. They were actually scared to come to work. Ada yang contractor yang tinggal barang just outside hospital, they refused to come into the hospital. So kesian, our own frontliners had to do extra work. And then not to mention those of our staff and other resources yang kena COVID positive. So even those who were not symptomatic were affected because they had to self-isolate and home quarantine. So with this double whammy of increased load, decreased resources, we really felt the brunt. Memang kesian our frontliners who had to work double hard to keep up what is actually a national and public service. So, and then just to make things even worse, human resources, that stays in this room, but human resources ministry kata, no more hiring of foreign workers, freeze on foreign workers. It's like, kan, in laundry, how, and then the solution is hire locals. Can you find locals to do laundry? So this is the problem that we have. So what is the solution? The solution is innovate with technology. And I think this is where we are at today. We want to move away from having to do with manpower norm or labor, manual labor. This is all third world kind of approach to services. We go to hospitals in, you don't have to go so far as Europe, even in Thailand and Singapore. Mechanization is the way forward. Linen, no one's pushing linen trolleys, it's a robotic linen trolley. And cleansing, and this is what we'll be talking about today, is no longer a man and a mop, it's machinery. So I think this is the way forward, not only to reduce our dependency on human labor, but also to move forward in terms of our thinking of how we approach work. And at the same time achieve better KPI in terms of service level, better cleanliness, and at the same time as well, being able to recruit more locals to work. So instead of being a Putuki, you are a supervisor or a technician that manages robotics. So this is something which is much more appealing to a local graduate, for example. So without further ado, I think this is very much I won't say the game changer, but maybe it is the game changer for not just how we as concessionaires maintain hospitals, but also for the hotel industry. I think I'm optimistic that travel and tourism will come up, and how do we tackle this? I know talking to other hoteliers, their problem is they have to cap their bookings because they do not have enough staff, and most of the time it's back of house. So how do we then help hotels prepare for this hopefully an uptick in travel and tourism? Okay. So I hand back to Jiaxin.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada Encik Rahim, satu ucapan yang positif daripada beliau. Tanpa membuasa, saya mempersilakan Mr. Jet Ong untuk present dia punya produk. Silakan Mr. Jet.
Hi, morning. My name is Jet from Klenco, Malaysia. Today, I think we go straight to the point to show you what technology have to offer. Klenco has been in Malaysia for 49 years, so we are not new here. The technology that we bring to Malaysia is new, but not new for Klenco. So let me start by introducing a little bit about Klenco, and then from there we talk about the technology. So just a bit change here, because I need to move before show. We will have a little bit of Q&A right after the introduction, and we will have a photo session before the lunch and before noon. So this is a little bit of schedule here. I think Rashid will guide accordingly in this program. So we are talking about Klenco in 4 maintenance equipment agenda, some of the evolution cleaning methods. Cleaning robots, Garrison, who is Garrison, that is branded is bringing to Malaysia, some commercial and justifications, technical topics, references, and a a few other unique cleaning equipments that really can help you to mechanize the process of cleansing activities. So I will not go into too wide range of the product here, but I want to focus on sweeper, especially because there is my personal business here. So just a little bit background about the sweeper. So Klenco offer the indoor carpeted area sweeper, some indoor applications, battery operated, for example, outdoor applications. So you have a diesel, you have a petrol machine, and so on, and you have a diesel application for the industrial sector. So this is a little bit a wide range, and I always like to tell my potential customer that Klenco is the widest, provide widest range of sweepers. Why? This is what you know, but you also have this type of sweeper, basically electric version, battery power, small unit, and we also have, this is the only one in the world now, the all-terrain sweeper where you can go off-route. We have all these other big sweepers for municipality and highway and so on. And I would like also to show you the last interesting sweeper that we just bring into Malaysia from Germany. So here's what we got. Okay, this is new. We just made this yesterday. And what is this? This is the airport sweeper, airport one-way sweeper. And I'm happy to say that we just got the confirmation from EUDM 4 unit. So we're bringing in by the end of the year. And that's the reason I need to leave later, because the ASU is officiating the pictures and photo op and so on. But this, to let you have impressions that we are in sweeper business. And because what we are going to show you today is also sweeper floor maintenance equipment. So this is the high end of the sweeper in terms of size, but in terms of technology, what you see later today is the most high tech. If I say that this machine have a higher, let's say in terms of technology, than this, believe me, it is. Yeah. So now I want to go back here. I don't have your permission here, but I use one of your pictures. So, but this is where we start from manual. You guys have been one of big customer for years, and from tools to special tools and to some mechanization. And in Malaysia, we also bring in some of this machine, Industrial 4.0. Industrial 4.0 at the top change is actually robotic. Yeah, that's what we will be showcasing to you today. So a little bit about Klenco. I mentioned just now to Young as well. We are 51 years in Singapore and 49 years in Malaysia. This is the first robotic floor maintenance machine that we started in Singapore 7 years ago. And it was partnered with Robotic, a Japanese technology company. 3 years ago, we launched the next generation. If I may say, this is generation 1, there is generation 2, and today we are showcasing generation 3 machine. So this is a little bit of the journey. Malaysia, Klenco in Malaysia, we have not bring in all this technology until last year because of pandemic. And I explained why we have to bring in, there's an opportunity for us to bring in this machine. We sold probably 220 machines 2 years ago when pandemic hit. And that is hotel, especially in Singapore, that is a selling product in Singapore for hotel industry. Okay, now the product that we are bringing, the so-called Gen 3 is Galson. So I'm going to introduce to you a little bit about this company. The company is 8 years and 9 years now, this year. So you would say the cleaning business, your company is 30, 40 years, 8 years is very, very short period of time, but 8 years, this is company of 8 years. So in technology, 8 years is a long time. Who is our owner? The one our owner is Tencent. You probably know about Tencent, the #1 technology company in China. And I would want to also say, last September, one of our biggest competitors, SoftBank, actually bought into our company as well. So they are one of the, not shareholder, one of the major bondholder of the company. Yeah. So what it tells you is that if they are a technology company buying into a smaller company in the sense, quote unquote, meaning that we are technology-wise better than them. Yeah. So, first video to show you about Gaussian. So you could see a little bit of products and a little bit of our company.
Technological upgrades are bringing about a revolution in a cleaning industry that has remained unchanged for thousands of years. Whether it is at schools, or hospitals, at stadiums, or transportation hubs, at office buildings, or commercial premises, at parking lots, or municipal roadways, be ready to come across a GS robot in a random corner of the place. 100 square kilometer map construction, real-time dynamic path planning, advanced operation perception, edge-to-edge cleaning, and agile and high-precision control. Built upon AIoT and cloud integration technologies, GS robots are here to provide you with a brand new experience of cleaning operations and facility management. Today, GS robots' footprints have spread throughout 43 countries and regions across 6 continents, amounting to 150 million kilometers in the cleaning tracks.
I will skip a little bit of the references and also testimony because we will send you the information later at the end. So I would now want to talk about what models and what machine we have to offer. The first one, you could see there is a vacuum 40. I think we have a machine just right outside. This is a machine for you to do carpet cleaning because scrubbing machine is you can't do carpet cleaning. The 80 kg in weight compared to this one is 150 kg. So this scrubber, this is probably the more, let's say, used machine as compared to vacuum. In our business cleaning floor maintenance, normally we sell 5 of these machines before we sell 1 vacuum cleaner. So the next one is talking about sanitizer. Again, these two are identical machine except you have the option at the back to do sanitizing or spraying purpose, and then bigger scrubber machine of 75. Sweeper 111, basically outdoor application. I'll show you some application video later. We are launching these quarters for polishing machine, and we have these 2 machines. These are the latest coming. It just came in 2 days ago, so we are still trying to get the setting and up there. I will invite you later to soft launch and press the button for this event. Then we have a much bigger machine coming out by the end of the year. So one thing I want to show you in this portfolio is that there's no any other company in the world, robotic cleaning equipment in the world that offering this wide range. Our biggest competitor, let's say they're offering 1 or 2 products. So we have the most product to offer in terms of all maintenance. So, okay. A little bit now go into a little bit technical models. So please allow me to show a little bit information here because you need to know the detail a little bit to appreciate why the machine price and technology is so expensive in a sense. First of all, you charge it run 3 to 4 hours, and what is important here, you look into that 1,200 square meter an hour or 12,000 square feet an hour is very, very high performance. If you look in the first generation of machine, one machine costs 300,000. It can only do about 2,000 up to 4,000. So you could see that the new machine here now with the technology, I explained why, it can go 12,000. So every single charge you can clean up about 36,000 square feet. So it's high performance. Small footprint, 55 dB noise level. It comes with LiDAR, so it's quite common. Gen 2 machine comes with LiDAR. So again, I'll explain. Generation 1 machine, there's no LiDAR, it's just sensor. Generation 2, it comes with LiDAR, light detection. Most of the, let's say, home robot that you have at home, there's already LiDAR. But what we have to identify, to differentiate the second and third generation is SLAM technology, which I will explain a bit further. SLAM is basically AI. It is object recognition, it is thinking robot, all information to the cloud, and so on. So I'll share with you a little bit more. job ultrasonic sensor, ability to detect glass, got anti-drop sensor, reverse motion sensor, 3 cameras and all that. So what are all these functions? Again, I will explain later in some of the video. Now, everybody asks what happens in this field. If all fail, the chances of all fail is 99.79 at the back. So unlikely it will fail with all these sensor, cameras, and LiDAR system with touch stop. So there is a safety feature there. Obviously, all the machines also have emergency stop function. Okay, what application video? So again, it's tablet. So this is in Parliament, one of the application. Here, Hong Kong International Airport that was taken in 2020. You see there is no, you don't see international airport with no people. So it can be also used in a hard floor, on a hard floor. So not only carpet, but also hard floor. You see, when you have application of hard floor and carpet, you will be the only machine and you just plug on, you cannot use on the carpet. Okay. Now, I think this video was taken in One Time Hospital, I believe. So you could see how quiet the machine 55 dBA. I mean, it was not a mock video, it was just as natural video. You see that people don't even notice that there was a vacuum cleaner at the back. 55 dBA, if you're in cleaning business, is very low. Normal vacuum machine, we are talking about 62 to 67. So 55 is indeed very quiet. Now I move a little bit to Scrabble. So again, this is probably more used machine because on a hard floor. So a little bit technical information. Now there's a filter system, so you can save some water. Why you need to have a filter system, I explain to you later. 2 to 3 hours usage. And again, it is 12,000 square feet an hour in performance. If you're using dust mop, you can go up to 6 hours. Sometimes you don't need to scrub the floor. You want to dust mopping like a lobby with quite clean, then it can go up to 6 hours. And also integration with the software and so on. Safety audios, also programming some messages. 2D laser, I will not go into that. You have a recording camera there as well. And also a working station for you to do charging when the task is finished or when the robot is running low on the battery, but it also allows the robot to discharge dirty water and the refill clean water all by itself. Yeah? Some application video. So in EPR pilot, so they have smaller robot inside, and then in the warehouse they have a bigger robot. So it's video a bit better. This performance is much higher. We are talking about 40,000 square feet an hour, so it's very much a high performance machine. Now, I come to sanitizing robot. I would not want to say this is the right way to sanitize because, as you know, the proper sanitizing is surface sanitizing. Airborne sanitizing is not. But we also recently, in the last 6 months, there's a lot of talk about airborne virus and all that. So they are start talking about a spraying robot as well. This is one application. You see, it's the same as flower. You see, except that there's a spraying at the back. This is working cause fixation remember. So we also have, for example, at the airport. I would say that this is probably a good value application if you are in a crowded area or in hotel, yeah, where you want to give people a perception of psychologically think that the place is sanitized and clean. Because it's for 10,000 extra in terms of spraying unit, you can create an impression. Yeah. So some of the if you want to have more, this is one of the more so there are some applications. So the robot not only doing the here you can see is not scrubbing, it's doing dust mopping. So you can see that the machine not only can do the floor cleaning but also sanitizing the machine. We also have now the feature we have integrated message screen at the back of the machine. So this is available now. This company is going to have the PLC 6 hour one. interesting is we try to do integration with them so that the robot will go on the 8th floor, 9th floor, 10th floor, all by itself until floor 88, where it's student and office over there. I will explain a little bit about lift integration later. I move now to the bigger machine here. One thing I want to say, the smaller machine, it comes with 2D laser. 2D laser can detect up to 25 meter. 3D, 150 meter. People say, why you want a robot to see that far? Imagine you have a car, and your car have a lights that can see only 20 feet in front. And you have the second car, the car can see 100 feet. Which car you can drive faster and safer? The one you can see further. So it's the same. The laser, it can go further, it allows the robot to get the information, to process the information in the car, so that it finds the best way to do the cleaning in a safe possible way. Right? So you have a sensor that can detect further. You still have a 2D laser to keep track of surrounding. And instead of 12, you have 16 ultrasonic sensor. If all fail, you have a soft touch bumper for all the machine, safety audios, and instead of 3 camera, you have 4 camera. I explain to you later what is the function of the camera, and also integration when it the lighting where it turn left, it show the signal turning to the left and so on. Because this machine is quite big, we are talking about 550 kg power ton, so there are additional safety feature in this machine. I show this video is you see a Tucker here is probably 2 years old, and you have a 550 kg machine moving, and it's safe. If it's not safe, this machine will not allow to operate in an environment like Europe. So it's a very safe machine to operate. You don't have to worry about, let's say, safety issue, knocking or accident and so on. I actually have another video to show that is in the bottling plant, so you all fill with bottles and all that, and the big machine is running. I will not go so much on this, but I just want to share with you one video on this Super 111, which is basically meant for outdoor operation. Just in case you have some ad hoc cleaning, you just want to do it and move the machine there to do ad hoc cleaning is possible. The big machine you stand from behind, and then the smaller machine you push from behind. So, but I would not recommend you spend a lot of money just to use a machine on the manual cleaning. It's supposed to autonomous cleaning. So, one interesting case, this was DHL in China. When they receive our information, they ask us to do a survey, so we did a survey that they have 1 million square feet warehouse. They need 13 people to clean for the ground floor. They only managed to find 3 people, and that's the problem here, and for everybody. They cannot find people. They offer up to 2005, they still cannot get the right people to join. So they only be able to clean their warehouse once every 2 weeks. So the solution is very simple. So that's what we're doing now. Totally no mechanization. So this is the solution. You have a sweeper in front, because as you know, if we are at home, if we want to mop the floor, you cannot sub dulu, right? So you have a sweeper in the front, and then you have a scrubber behind to do the scrubbing. So with this, they now are able to clean the warehouse every 1.1 day. Again, it is basically for everyone here, whether it's hotel industry, cleaning sector and all that, is the label. I'll explain a little bit more. So this is one of our applications. You can see the sweeper is working inside, indoor, together with scrubbing machine. This is another one in the hospital where you see here, the sweeper is going to carpeted area because scrubber cannot go. So the carpeted area will be handled by sweeper, and the other area will be handled by the scrubbing machine.
So you can keep talking to the machine.
It can, but it don't. We can program that, but instead of talking to each other, we actually slow down the machine. They will avoid each other. But
they have sensors in it. Definitely,
they will not crash each other. Yeah. But the point for Daniel is that can they talk to each other? We have some cases project here. We want them to talk to each other, which we are on the testing phase now. That we want the robot to help each other and supporting each other. It is possible. I'll explain to you later how can that be possible.
But back to the question, does the scrubber only go where the sweeper has already swept?
Yes. It can be. So I think it's related. So you don't want to scrubber go to an area that is not been swept. Yeah.
Do you have a robotics which we have all this function under one robot? I mean, they do the sweeping, they immediately they change.
No. At this point, no. This is something that will launch, and you're probably the first few people to watch. Is a polishing machine, so it's just a teaser. Will not have too much information. So it's another additional models that you can look into to help your floor maintenance. I will go straight into here now. Remember that we talked about the charging dock and workstation. The charging dock is when the task finished, we go back to charging. Or when the battery is running low, we go back to charging. Now, there's another part, second part, you see the workstation. Not only we have the equipment where we go back to charging, but also help to discharge dirty water and refill clean water to make it fully autonomous. Yeah, so let's watch. The workstation idea is this. You don't want, when you want to run autonomous, you want to minimize the human interactions. So to have workstation, it takes up the whole human, let's say, interfacing with the machine. Remember I talked about the filter system. It also helps two things. Number one, it reduces the usage water. So in the smaller machine, instead of 2,000 liters per month, for a big machine, instead of 6,000 liters per month. That's number one, the saving of water, because especially in Europe, discharging dirty water, it can be very expensive. The second thing is that you want to have the machine run as long as possible. So if the machine without filtration system, same thing like what you have, every time you have to discharge water, refill, it takes away a lot of time. So filtration system help to reduce the downtime, so they allow the machine to work as long as possible. Now, this is also interesting, lift integration. Just to share with you, working with Kony worldwide. So if you have a facility that has Kony crane, we can get the robot to work with the lift, calling the lift down, get into the lift, telling the lift where the robot wants to go, which floor. So let's go.
Any brand of the lift?
No, I'm working Kony now. this works is that we have our robot sending the information to our cloud. So if the robot want to say, now I'm on ground floor, I want to go to level 2, the robot will send that signal to our cloud, and our cloud, through API, will connect to Kony cloud. And that answers your question that we work, collaborate with Kony at this moment. We are also start to explore another partners. So at this point, only Kony. So the Kony cloud will send the lift down. Our lift get into it, telling them through the cloud. Again, this is happening very fast. Through the API system that we are also in the lift, already in the lift, they want to go first floor. The lift will shut and then go to first floor, open the door, robot come out. So that's how it works. And so to answer your question again is that if we can't find the connectivity with other brand, then we can't do it. But we are working also with another brand here locally, not using the cloud, using a LoRa connection, which is local connection. The problem with local connection that should we be able to do it, it might have a problem of one certification. They might not allow this kind of, because for safety reasons. So we are exploring without using cloud, can we do it using other technology in Malaysia? Yeah.
Because in government hospitals in Malaysia, because the number of lift at each hospital is very limited. So although the robot can call the lift, you might be other passenger inside the lift. There's another issue here.
Correct. I mean, there is other so-called accidents. You get in the lift, you have people tamper with all the lift button and all that. The robot get lost, and then there's no connectivity to the cloud and all that. Yeah. So there are challenges. I will not say that we're perfect, but we have this ability, and we have some cases already done. It's just that we are still have some challenges and how to get the improved technology. One of the biggest challenges actually for us is connectivity, the signaling. So with 5G rolling out, it helped a lot. Because 4G sometimes you lose it, and then it's not fast enough, and by the time the robot get the lift, they still have not received a signal, the robot get lost in the lift, so to speak. Yeah, so it's still a challenge, but technology moving very fast. Government hospitals, sorry, I'm not going to tell which hospitals because so you can see here, we have 4 clinics, 4 people working, and there was actually a video I took when I visited one of the hospitals many years ago. I didn't know that I used this video for this kind of presentation, but this is it. So they are basically can run 4,000, so or 40,000. So it's actually one charge at night is which hospital? Brahma Hospital in Thailand. So I mean, the point is that we have to, as what Dani said, that we are that we need to step forward. The question is whether who's going to pay for it in the sense. So okay, I mean. The major reason we bring the robot into Malaysia, and the major problem of cleaning contractors, the choke point is labor. And we don't need to talk more about it. 2004, 2005, 2008, and I was telling Mr. Yap just now is that in Penang, there's one factory, Inventec. They're offering operator sign bonus. Have you heard about sign bonus? $5,000 to come. Sign bonus. So how can we compete against those people working in MNC, nice environment, for cleaning purpose? We can't compete. The only way we can get is foreign labor. Local people forget about it. They are not interested in this type of job. And this is not a short-term problem. Aging is another one. So the problem is not only now or later when we have foreign workers coming in. It's also talking about aging. So we need to start to look into the solution in the future. I will not get into ROI calculation in here, but I just want to show you here. To clean a 50,000 square feet per day, 1 month you need about 330 hours. 300 hours for actual cleaning, 30 hours for upkeep. What is upkeep? Upkeep is preparing the tools, the wet form, slime, and so on. And then when you finish the actual cleaning, you demop. So we are talking about 330 hours. And we don't do this anymore. I suppose, at least not in KL. We are doing semi-manual, so you have push behind or right on, so it reduces tremendously because mechanization is always faster. So from 300 hours to 130 hours, you still got 15 hours upkeep. Now, having seen the automation, the autonomous robot where you have very minimum human intervention, the same process, now you need only 2 hours. So from 330 hours down to 2 hours, and when the labor cost is skyrocketing compared to $800, $900 per month to $2,000, compared to the contract workers of $40, $60, $80 earlier to $150, $180, we are talking on bidding with each other. Sometimes you have a contract worker, you have to pay more than $200 a day. So when you actually take the labor factor up, the ROI now in Malaysia is possible. Why we never bring the machine in? Because earlier our labor is still manageable, low cost, and plenty of labor. And today, this is the main reason why the robot is coming to Malaysia. Okay, I want to say, again, a bit of disclaimer. Robot don't do everything. It's co-worker, cobot, cooperative robot. It will do a job that is designed to do. It will do a job that human beings probably will not be right to do. So, give one example. One U, again, there are 200 square feet floor. Instead of having 5 operators on take care of the floor, now you use 1 robot and 2 people. So you reduce the 3 worker over there. Because the robot basically can do 95% of the common floor area cleaning, and you still have another 5% certain area robot cannot reach. And also you need people to do the toilet cleanings and whatnot. So again, it also look into how's your application. If you have a big floor area, this will be a perfect machine because it takes care of most of the floor cleaning. Major benefit to reduce the manpower for labor, spread of virus, human contact, mechanization, consistent, better quality, health and safety. We have cleaning worker where I think I was talking to Encik Maudu earlier about Sri Pacific. He said that a lot of young people left, and Sri Pacific having a lot of aging worker. And when you have aging worker, for them to do this cleaning is actually very much affecting their health. And the cleaning industry, from what I know, the MC rate is 5 times higher than other industry. Why? The older the people they get, the more difficult, physically challenging job they get, you're going to have a health and safety issue. Yeah. And is high utilization, the machine in DHL running 24/7. You can clean more often, like in the case of DHL image. We have one case, one customer, I will not deliver yet. That is the main reason they buy the robot. Live monitoring, I'll explain a bit later. Complete work report, I'll explain later. So this is the first class impression. One of them, you mentioned here, okay, PRX, Exchange 106. Class AAA building, this was where they were doing, and now this is what. So, 2 things here. Image is for people from overseas to come in whether they want, but the other thing is that this guy is happy now. He's telling his people that I'm not a cleaning worker, I'm a supervisor. I'm managing the robot. So maybe it helped to a certain extent to recruit people to do this kind of job. Because why? This will take care of 95% of the job. He can do something that is more valuable, higher value, and where the robot cannot do. Coming to car park, you might not have this application, but the same customer wants to have also a machine for car park. You could see here, there's normal machine, scrubber 75 now. The thing about this is that it is not the normal scrubber 75. We bought this machine, is scrubber 75 for car park. Are you okay? This is the only machine in the world that can find the red one car park, 8 degrees. And we're coming out. 2 things I want to say. First about technology. The machine installed 4 additional sensors we call millimeter wave sensor. what is meter wave sensor, wave sensor? It's the same sensor as Tesla, driverless car. It is a sensor that not only it detects the distance, it is a sensor also detects the distance and can calculate the speed of the moving vehicle, velocity of that moving vehicle, the angle. So very high tech. With the 4 sensors cost about $55,000. Why? In a car park, you have moving vehicle. You want the machine, the robot, to see as far as possible, 150 meters, so that it can plan, it can adjust. What is the best way to avoid all these potential things? Plus the wave sensor to calculate how far and how fast the car can reach the machine. So these are technology. So can you imagine a cleaning product today we have in Malaysia is the same technology of Tesla. So it's very high tech indeed. Yeah. Okay. A few things on the technical side. Oh, by the way, I want to talk second point about that so-called car park version. This customer have 5-floor underground car park, and he are looking for a machine that can actually watch out what is inside the car park, surveillance, security. The machine, as I mentioned, got camera in front and back, so the camera always feedback the live information of the video taken in front of robot and behind to their security room, so they can at all times, while the machine cleaning, they know what is going on in the 5-floor car park. I'll show you a little bit more information later, but coming back here, the machine will give you the report at the end of every task. In this case, if this is clean and there's one area is not clean, it show you which area is not clean. It will tell you how long it takes to clean this area, what is the performance, number of hours, water usage. They'll tell you percentage, battery before, after, and even consumable part use. Now, it will give you information on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. So all these reports are automatically generated, proof of performance by third party. So you don't need to generate all these reports. Every task that is finished, it is automatically generated, sent to whoever you want them to receive. This is interesting. Just watch. I'll come back in just a minute. So remember just now I talked about camera in front and back. This is what the camera is taking the information. It can even tell the staircase, the people, the person, what is the height. Why this information is taken is AI. The information is gathered through the cloud and at the same time to continue finding best way to do the cleaning. And you will know when there is a changing of layout and so on. This is Gen 3. AI. I will explain a little bit more. What else can we do on this? Sorry, what's up just now is that in the old days when you sneeze, everybody say bless you. Now if I sneeze, I think everybody disappears, so I get out to do this that. So the SLAM, what is SLAM? SLAM is AI, one of the AI technology where it continuously recognizes the place through the sensor, through the camera, and it continuously do all the localization and mapping live instantly. So the robot is learning. So there's the automation, there's the AI on this, where that's why it's all the machine is connected to the cloud. The cloud is processing. Yeah, I will talk about 5G generation IoT later. So this is the technology. The technology will not allow the machine to have repeated the same job in the same area, because when you repeat the job in the same area, you lose the performance, you lose the battery power, and so on. So it makes the robot more efficient, more intelligent, so to speak. One of the things also is important is that in the old robot, Gen 2 robot, if you want to, let's say, clean this room, I will do mapping by pushing the robot from one end to another every single inch. So the process of this room probably will take 1 hour because you're pushing the robot. The new, let's say Gen 3, we allow parameter mapping. You just push the robot in one corner to the next corner, to the next corner, to the next corner. Robot learn what is inside. And when you have a layout, let's say shopping center, change the layout from time to time, the warehouse, the staging area change from time to time, you don't need to do mapping anymore. Believe me, if you have to do those detailed mapping, you say, forget about it. I have no time for that. So this again, the technology allows the robot to learn and to do parameter mapping. I mentioned it's live information, so you can walk it and control through the smartphone to set when you want the robot to run, where you want the robot to run, and all that. When the robot is running, you see what is in front of the robot, what is behind. So you have that live information. You know when you finish exactly where the place has been cleaned, what is not clean, all the report I mentioned earlier. If there's any problem, not only we receive information, you receive information. And last but not least over here, when the robot is running in the map, you always know exactly where is the robot locating, where is the robot moving at that time, real times. So this is also another, let's say, technology or on the machine. So I will not go through all this, but I want to say about lithium ion, because why the older technology that we see, the big machine, Gen 1 machine is so big, and the performance is so low as compared to this small machine. One is lithium ion, the old machine using traction battery, lead acid battery, heavy. 60% of the weight of the machine is battery. 40% of the size of the machine is because of battery. Today, the same battery reduced to small lithium ion. The other thing very important is that when you use lead acid battery, you're supposed to use it all the way down to 20%, then you send to recharge 100%. I bet you none of operators do that. When they go for lunch, they plug in. You lose one charging cycle. 600 charging cycle, battery is dead. Lithium ion, not only smaller size, compact, but it also allows you to do opportunity charging. Anytime you don't use it, it's quite quick to charge. So the battery actually lasts longer. Now, why last time the old machine they don't use? Lithium ion expensive. Today, lithium ion in the last 10 years, lithium ion price dropped by 85%. So it makes it possible now. So when you use lithium ion, the machine gets smaller, higher efficient, better maneuverability and so on. Yeah. Again, this is actually technology, but it is not related to software, but it's related to material use. So in summary, faster for sure, better in quality and cheaper in the long run, safer for our people as mentioned just now, greener or less water usage, nicer and overall experience. So I always tell my potential customer is that the question is not if, it's when. If you don't invest now or this year, it will be next year. You don't invest next year, will be years. You cannot run away. So this is where we are moving. Last slide, IoT. Everybody talk about IoT now. So what is IoT related to cleaning equipment? First of all, the IoT makes the machine smarter, more efficient, but you need a lot of data information. And this was not possible in Malaysia, probably until later part of the year when we have 5G, because you need a lot of data. Now, I give you a scenario. A lady walked into the lobby of Sri Pacific. She dropped a piece of tissue paper, assuming you have a sweeper on one side and scrubber on one side. They see CCTV capture, hey, there's tissue paper dropped by this lady. Information to the cloud. The cloud say, sweeper, go to that exact location, pick it up. Sweeper, pick up and go back. You have a gentleman getting a Starbucks coffee, walking through your lobby and he spilled the coffee. CCTV pick up, liquid. Scrubber, that is the closest scrubber you have. Send the scrubber, go and clean up this. That's the IoT. And that's the technology. I don't know whether you're excited about this or not, but I'm all of a sudden for cleaning operation, I get excited because of technology. We no longer do the same thing in the last 50 years, we do new things. And technology allows us to do that. So the robot not only becomes the hands and feet for you, it becomes the eyes and ears for you as well. Right? So you say, how is this technology applied? When? Last year, already in Singapore, AIoT robot by downstairs. How? There's a Scrubber 50 machine. We put the AIoT module on top, additional camera. So this robot actually can identify who is actually throwing the garbage. Pictures, camera, if happen to be there, location, and send alert to security. At the same time, the robot will also recognize if there's a bag there, nobody surrounding, it also will recognize that, send a message to security, check it out. So this is the application of AIoT. We are working in Singapore now talking about facial recognition. So the child, if they get lost, we can try to identify the child, the person falling to the ground because of heart attack, they can alert. So the robot not only doing the cleaning, but it provides additional value to the application. Okay, I will run very fast in 2 minutes. Some of our references, buildings. So those are the buildings in the region. We have one in North Singapore. Actually, we're working with Klenco Blue Malls also through JKR. So we hope we can get something by this year. Hotel. So some of hotel here. China quite fabric. Healthcare. So we're talking about hospital in Thailand, hospital Singapore, Korea, Grand Eagle Hospital, Mount Elizabeth Hospitals. We are also working with a few private hospitals here. Healthcare. So shopping mall by right is our biggest 40% of our market, let's say target or target customer. So these are shopping centers.
Any hospital in Malaysia?
Yes and no. We are waiting for 2 hospitals, Grand Eagle, and also they are belong to IHH because Singapore is in IHH. And also Penang Adventist Hospital, and hopefully also this long-term medical center because it's packaged under the leaf portion. So they supply the leaf. So together with we have not really focused on hospital at this point in time because up till recently, hospital because of COVID they don't allow all these discussion, demo, and all that. So we are only beginning now to work on hospital, not government hospital at this point in time as well. So shopping centers, manufacturing, Nestle, Volkswagen, Mattel, so Coca-Cola, for example. So airport transportation, harbor, MRT. So here, this Hong Kong airport, 2 weeks ago, we have one of the biggest order coming from Thailand Hospital Thailand airport, 4 airport combined order of 80 units at one go. So it's our largest order. Before that, is MRT station in Hong Kong, 60 units at one go. So these are educational school, colleges, grocery, IKEA, Walmart, Kmart, Carrefour, so warehouses. So basically, is all application all over the world. So I hope as a future, the leaders over here, we identify you as the futures and to look into this application for this technology, embrace this technology. Technology is moving not linear, exponential. So it get more. By the way, talking about this technology, the machine every 3 to 4 months got update on software. So it keeps on improving for the rest of the life of the machine free of charge. Same thing as your smartphone. So what it can do today, it can do better. Right? So the connectivity.
They will upgrade the software, will not need to change the
No. Download through the cloud. I give you one example. Let's say the sweeper earlier it can go up to 2 centimeters from the edge. The last update, the sweeper now, because of the firmware, it goes to 1 centimeter. Right? So the performance, all these things is continue improving. Okay? I will now go through a very quick introduction of some unique cleaning equipment that my colleague later will show you. So first of all is auto scrubber, battery powered scrubber, and mini floor scrubber, Stingray from Germany, Monsoon for let's say healthcare application, and also some sanitizer. I guess we are not. There's still a role to play for sanitizer here. So this is the first one, auto scrubber. show this, and I only have one thing to say, especially for finance people. If I tell you that return on investment is 2 months, you run through it. Anything return on investment is 1 year, you run through it. This is 2 months. How is 2 months? Just a very simple illustration. Using the manual, time spent of the cleaning process is 30%. Using this machine, time spent 10%. So basically, 3 hours cleaning down to 1. You have 3 workers doing this type of process, you cut 2, you need only 1. 1 worker, 2,000 easily, 4,000 in, let's say, the machine is less than 4,000, 2 months. Not only that, when you have using the machine, you need more chemical agitation and all that. With the machine, the chemical use also cut because you have more agitation. Chemical is not required, so you have further saving of chemical. But forget about chemical. Talking about ROI of 2 months, this is a machine you have looked into. And where are the applications? The robot cannot do cleaning below. The robot cannot, or scrubber, even though robot, you cannot do this below cleaning. So the cleaning of a typical scrubbing machine, 75. The last mile, the last inch is covered by this machine. There's no any other machine. And I would say that there's no any other machine of this type in the world. Not yet. So we have been putting hundreds of units in hospitals, even government hospitals. One hospital at least one. Because sometimes they have to do this stuff cleaning. Nobody will use the brushes anymore. They bring the machine, the thing backpack easy to go. I don't want to say who is the owner. Someone will know who is the owner of this yacht. Outlet. It's not his yacht, right? It's not your yacht, right? Parliament. Look at this.
Auto scrubber. Auto scrubber.
There are 4 units. And what machine can you use?
Pakai battery.
Above, underfloor, DI. So our goal actually is, not our goal, the owner goal of this motor scrubber in UK when he visited Malaysia 2-3 years ago before the pandemic, he said, my idea is that every building should have one. Because you need one. And even the hospital, let's say, the pegawai, they like it so much, you say, hey, can you give me a good price? I want to buy it for my own use. No, I mean, it is very... Okay, the second machine is mini scrubber here. So just a little bit information. here because it's probably too long. So, three things I want you to remember here. This machine is using lithium ion. Remember last time the machine is bulky. Now machine is very compact. You carry like this, you put in storage and all that. Why? Lithium ion. I mentioned just now the technology lithium ion coming in. The second thing, this is important, is you cannot find any other scrubbing. Scrubbing, and when you scrub in front, you have a squeezy vacuum at the back. But you cannot reverse. So what happens when you are facing, let's say, a desk and then you cannot move forward? You cannot move. But this machine allows you to go and scrub, vacuum, but you also can vacuum back with squeezy and suction. So in small area, then this is perfect. You don't need to have a walk-through space. You can vacuum by reverse. The third thing is here, because of very, very small machine, you can go into very tight area. Where you have normal, big, typical scrubbing machine is so big that you cannot go into small area. So you say forget about it. But that is the area actually you need to clean. So we offer you this as well as even smaller portable motor scrubber I mentioned earlier. So the next one. We want to mention here, we saw quite a fair bit during the pandemic, COVID, to hospitals. First of all, is the HACCP certified. What is the hospital one we use is we all know that the best way sanitizing or cleaning is using steam. You don't need chemical. So a lot of application where they don't want to use chemical, this is only one. Second thing, in the COVID and all that, where you discharge the dirty water discharge, it might be filled with bacteria. So here, you have a filtration system, kill the bacteria using UV. So you don't need to worry about discharging, because some hospitals worry about discharging. So you have UV to kill. At the same time, you have a filter there, so you don't need to, and UV there, so you don't need to change the water that frequent. So it consumes much less water. And it's only used clean water. So it is unique, maybe not popular now, but during the pandemic, this was something that we saw to many hospitals. Okay, the last video, again, is related to so-called the virus. good point about it. This company in UK actually worked with Imperial College and during the COVID times, what is the best right size of micron and what are the technology required to have more effective high efficacy of sanitizing. So the idea is to have the right 68 micron to spray. Now what is probably more important in terms of, because everybody have different philosophy of sanitizing, so I'm not going to get into it, it's not my job, but what is good later you see is that you have someone carrying a backpack with a lithium ion, doing a very modern type of sanitizing, rather than have, I see that we have some people in the building, they use the spray and then they wipe and all that. You could easily replace with one song all over the place. Again, labor cost reduction. So these are some of the things that my colleague later will show you. And I would like to say thank you to you. I'm overrun by 5 minutes, and I would like to also open now for question and answer. If you have, my card is in the brochure and all that, you can always text me and also the email, but if there's any question, I can answer you first before I leave later.
Quick one.
Sure.
You know, traditionally we have done cleaning on cycles. We run auto scrubber on a daily basis, then a couple of days we run the full scrubbing process with 3 or 4 employees.
Sure.
So how effective has technology taken over the entire process? I can just run the robot without the manual scrubbing at all.
On the general floor area, robot will handle it because the robot even better. For example, the big one, you have 44 kg weight to do the proper scrubbing as compared to let's say 25-30 kg for a normal machine. So the machine itself is designed to do it, but there's always some area where the robot might miss. I remember I said the robot can do 90, let's say 95, but it's still 5%, whether because it missed earlier because of somebody there to obstruct, or it is at the corner that the robot cannot cover the area. And this is the area where you need a manual intervention. But in terms of the normal cleaning and full scrubbing, the robot can do by easily controlling the weight, the speed, the power. You have a light, you have heavy, you have a medium and heavy. So this cycle you can set to do this set. So if it's not too dirty, you put light application. The same thing like vacuum. You know, we have a case, I don't remember which one. We run the robot, the sweeper. All of a sudden we open up, we put it back. They say, hey, too much. You're going to destroy my carpet, right? So you put light. So all these things can be adjustable because these are very simple adjustable things. If the technology is already there, the power, the pressure, the suction, and all this can be an option for you to choose and select.
So related to that, are the brushes and the pads are all proprietary?
Yes, you know Malaysian is very good, right? After a while, you find a better way to cut and to do it. But there are also different type of pads. The hard pad is the same thing. By the way, this robot scrubbing, sweeping is nothing fancy. The idea is the same. And the question probably say, what are the things I need to change? All the scrubbing, scrubber, squeezy is the same. The only thing different is the software you runs it. It's the same thing as car, right? The driverless car. It's a car, 4 wheels. They still have steering. The only thing is that they use the technology to drive. So wear and tear is the same. The battery, I can tell that it lasts longer, your lead acid battery. And the battery price is not expensive, and it will be coming down over the next 2-3 years, 3-4 years, you want to change the battery. So to answer your question, it's the same basically, except that in this machine you have also option to select what mode you want to run, eco mode, AV mode, and so on.
Okay. One last one. 2 items that I would like to propose, if you have, to cover that: carpet extraction and escalators. These 2 areas are very high, intensive, labor-intensive areas. It would be good if you have a robot that can do it.
We don't have robot, but we have machine to mechanize it. Actually, we have 2 types. I don't have the presentation over here. We have machine and also manual, just a simple tools. So it will not cost too much money. A tools to fit into your profile. First of all, escalator, we need to know profile, so we have a measurement tool to check the profile. Then we have a tools that cost probably $300-400 actually. More? How much more? No, how much more?
10 or 1,000.
Huh? 10 or 1,000. Okay, expensive too. tools that you just put on there and run. We also have a duplex where it's a machine that clean excavator. We have this machine clean excavator in KLCC and all this. So we have a machine. Make sure that we send in our information sent to them. We put these two information inside. So yes, we have. Yeah. I mean, basically all the cleaning process. Sorry.
I think you should update us the ones that where your machine actually used in Malaysia, where when if you want to go and see whatever type of machine that is used in Malaysia, then you just see.
Yeah, Cash. With customer permission, the other two things we can do is that actually we can bring the machine for government hospitals. It's tricky because there are some hospitals cannot use. Why? The old hospital design, you have this and all that. So I will not say all the hospital can be used. The one of the conventional one is try in Penang. I say Penang GH I don't try. It's too complex. Seberang Jaya I can. It's a new hospital. So we can bring instead of you see the customer, we bring the machine to your site, you test it and you see whether it apply or not. Because sometimes to have a machine there to try, it makes more sense. You can think a bit better. I was telling you, machine cannot do all application. Oh, it can do, but it's not commercially viable or it's not cost effective. So the best is that we send our engineer there to study, let you know a proposal, what are the things, we bring the machine there and see whether it works or not. And we are more than happy to do it. The only thing is now we are booking all the way to March, middle of March, but we are doing every week 2 demo to whoever that is interested. So we can book you in and to suggest to you what are the machines that can be used. That is even better.
You mentioned just some cleaning is project, so are you mentioning Denta is looking to this as well?
Who?
Denta?
I don't want to talk about Agenda. They are so interested that they want to talk to the CEO of Galson. Keep it here in this room. Okay, anyway. Agenda, actually we work with them also in one of the buildings. They are proposing, the customer like it. So they say, hey, Agenda, come in, how you package this for me? AIA building, for example. So yes, we are one that actually we have done too many. I say to them, I say, hey, no more demo, no more presentation because I send you all this material, too many presentations. Anyway, so Agenda is very much interested. They are more interested, I would say, not so much of government hospital, private hospitals. Because private hospital can pay. I mean, again, off the record. Yeah. Agenda also a big customer for many, many years. Same, Service Master 30 years ago and all that, yeah. So, but like I say, not all hospitals and not all applications it can use, but it's not cost effective. When we calculate ROI, hey, you have this hospital, I only can clean this part. I cannot use lead integration, so you cannot go up and all that. So at the end of it, hey, why I spend 150,000? That is not worth it. But you have certain hospital, big area, and I can access moving the machine from one location to another location, but all by itself. Then it makes sense.
So that means it cannot integrate with it, have to manually bring up to another floor, is it?
Manual, if I can do deep integration, which is okay. You know why? You have all these people. They remember just on the picture of a co-worker, right? The worker work with them. The worker bring the robot, say, okay, this area, you clean most of it, I take care of some of the things that you cannot do. The robot is as autonomous as it can, but it is not live by itself. It needs people to manage in a sense. So you can actually get a worker to bring the robot to area. You want to clean this area, bring them to clean, set. And all these settings is very simple. I can count. The old generation, you have limit of mapping of 10 map. I can do 100 map, I can do 200 map. So every room I can do 1 map. So when I bring robot there, I say map Bunga Raya, top, you do Bunga Raya. Right? So all these things, you bring the robot as a co-worker to do whatever the job that you're supposed to do. Let the machine do what it's supposed to do. So I hope I answered the question. It's not all application, but most of application we can mechanize, we can use robot. We have one of our challenge is this. We might sharing a little bit case. The next Adventist hospital, the ground floor is too small. So what we work, they are using coning. And so we are getting the robot to go to heart center by itself. The problem, the coning is outdated. It costs 10,000 to upgrade the software. So those are things that we can look into. So again, it's case by case, right? The easiest application, shopping center. You have a big wide area. Robot can do 95% of the job. So shopping center, that's why you say, show this out, 40% of customer actually shopping center. Or big area like MRT station, right? So then you can. Hospital, if you can. Government hospital, all one, very challenging. Probably not worthwhile. Okay? Any question from the floor?
Do you cover leasing for your machines?
Lokman, you asked me since last year.
Last year, this for everybody.
No,
you have
yes.
this year now leasing.
Yeah. No, we are working. You see, the thing about leasing is that we need to get a financial partner. Banks are very shy about this technology thing. When they represent what they're going to do. But we manage now to start with Oryx financing. So we are doing leasing now for this machine, this small machine, to start, and we will eventually slowly moving into bigger machine. So the answer to you is yes, this year we already started this, because this to the financial institution, the risk is not that high, is small value as compared to a big machine, but yes, we are moving into that, yes. Maybe I need a financial partner, someone big Robotic behind me and to support me to do the leasing.
I'm more interested to that type of machine, but I need leasing specific.
Okay, you are not alone. I would say that there's probably 80% customer asking for it. Yeah, so it's something that we are looking into it. We are working. We need to find a financial partner to do this with. Otherwise, it will cost me 10 million to fund this operation. I need to sell, let's say, about 70 units a year. Not this big machine, 10 million. So if bank willing to stand behind all the leasing operation, there's a financial backup. BMW, they have BMW leasing company behind. So that's how it is. So we are still working. The bank, when they look at this, now this one, you know why? They see Mama store. So they are not that scared. They look at that machine, only cleaning. Where can I sell if the customer defaults? You see the point? Yeah. Any other question? Okay, yeah.
Teacher, what about maintenance? The maintenance, most of the users are presume that they're laymen, they will not really have the understanding of the mechanism of the robot. So, does Klenco provide regular, like,
we can. We have a, let's say, full service contract where we can attend once a month and all that, but for costing purpose, those are brochure squeezy that if your assisting operator know how to change the squeezy and all that, they can change it over. Okay, so you don't need us to go and change. You just buy the consumable pack and change it when it got 1 hour. So you don't need. What you need, however, for us to support is that if you have a software issue, the machine got stuck. Now, you remember that we said when the machine got stuck, a problem, it will send a signal to us, message to us through WhatsApp, it will send to you as well. We know what is happening over there, and 60% of the times we can troubleshoot without sending an engineer to reset your machine. 60%. It's something like, what is the best way when your computer crashes? Switch off, start again. 99% is solve the problem. Same thing, software issue. But if the software continue to have a problem, you cannot solve, resolve. But the rest, mechanical things, filter change, scrubber change, if you have been using the normal machine, scrubbing machine, you can change that, you can change it. It's very easy. For example, the simple is a magnet thing you pull down, the brushes is gone. Put the 2 brushes out. Squeezy, 4 bolt, take it out, change the squeezy. So it's the same, remember, it's the same as any other normal machine that you are already been using. It only now, the robot, the machine now we offer, it only has the brain. The rest are the same. Okay, it's over. So Q&A is finished, so we will now adjourn to the sweeper. Oh, sorry, okay. Down here. I hope this works because we have not tried this before. Can you come and just a ceremony, you press a button, then we have a so-called soft launcher first. By the way, this is not Gaussian machine, but we have technology, but it's just everybody asking, so we eventually move here. So if you stand here, I guess, then there is a button there, 1 and go, and here, 1 and go, then it official my machine go to your place, your machine come to my place, then official launch in Malaysia. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ooh. It's tricky. By the way, this is not that high tech because they don't talk to each other. And it's using slightly different technology. There is no laser, there's a laser outside, no camera. Yeah, this is delivering robot for restaurants and all that, and it is trying to learn about Malaysia, let's say, weather. I think that's it. Yeah. So if we can take this, and then we take the photo of, and just show China that we are officially launched here. No, there are two things over here. First of all, you see why we put here? Because if it's not enough weight, it's supposed to run on hard floor. So it's not enough weight, the carpet, so it got the initial roller cannot start. So we try to put weight here. The second, what is the second thing? The second thing is carpet. The first one is the weight. Yeah. Okay, alright. So can you come close here, then maybe here? I don't know how much I got to pay you if I do get you. Okay. Okay, thank you. So we will adjourn to the sweeper. For the first demo. After the first demo, we'll go to the lobby, take a group picture. You can join us, please. Thank you. Okay, so let's proceed. Yeah, so we go ground floor. Okay, alright. Then we start from the demo downstairs.
What is the demo now?
You mean level 2? No, ground floor. Lobby. Yeah. Lobby is level 3.
Reception?
Lower ground. Guys, sorry, we are going to lower ground first, and then we only see the demo downstairs.
Okay.
Excuse me, attention everybody. Everyone is invited to go to level 2 for a photo session. Yeah. Yeah.
Apa C?
J.
So formula namanya